Hey guys, this is App Review with BuyMeAnIPhone.com. Today we'll be taking a look at the casemate barely there for the iPad 2. As you can see, this is the original slim case, so it's basically a thin snap-on case which will cover the back of your device. It won't offer much in terms of protection. It'll offer a little bit of drop protection, but it's basically just for scratch protection, for some provided grip, as well as a nice little look to the device. So let's take this out of the packaging, and before we install this on the iPad, I just want to read out the back. So as you can see, it has a form-fit design. It's an impact-resistant shell, and it offers complete access to all the ports and the buttons. So like you can see, guys, it is a very thin case. So at the bottom, you do have it all exposed. Even the speaker has a nice little groove cut out there. Top exposed as well, so no issues getting to the headphone jack, the microphone, or the power on and off. Here's your cutout for the camera, and here's the one large cutout for the volume up and down and for the rotation lock. So now let's just pop this onto the iPad and we'll take a look at the soft touch finish as well as all the ports and buttons. So installation is rather simple. Now in comparison to the Incipio Feather, it's basically the same thing. So the case itself is very similar. The only main difference I see is the price is the same, so $34.99. I do like the soft touch coating on the barely there a lot more. It is a little bit grippier, it feels nicer in the hand. But on the other hand, the Incipio Feather just throw in a couple more goodies. So that's basically down to your personal choice. But case wise, I'll choose a barely there, and I'll tell you why in just a sec. So installing it onto the device is very simple. You go in button side first and just lift over this edge. So one thing to note is it doesn't offer a noticeable click or a snap when you install it onto the device in comparison to the Incipio Feather. So it basically just lifts on top of the bezel instead of hearing a snap. So just something to note. So here's the front of the device. Let me put that down so you can take a look at it. Basically, there is no lay on the table design. So protection wise, guys, you're basically just going to pick up this case if you're looking for some added back protection, if you don't want to scratch up the aluminum backing, as well as some good grip to your device. So in the front, you get no protection at all, as you can see. So if you do use this case, you might want to pair it up with a screen protector, or you might want to look for another case just because it doesn't offer much in terms of protection. This is the kind of case that you'll get just for that minimal protection, doesn't add a lot of weight or bulk. It only adds a little bit of drop protection, but mostly scratch protection, and the soft touch coating is basically why you're going to pick it up. So it does have some nice grip, so you can hold on to the device real nicely. At the same time, it does pick up, as you can see, some oils from your hands all around here. It's nothing terrible, and if you want to get rid of it, you can wipe that off with a moist towelette. So it's definitely usable. I do like the soft touch coating on this, like I said, more than on the Incipio Feather. But on the other hand, this one does not throw in any extra goodies. So let's take a look at all the ports and the cutouts. At the bottom, you do have cutouts for the speaker, 30-pin dock connector. Because it is so exposed down here, this works just fine. So no muffling the sound here. Any type of connector will work here. But like I said, because it is exposed, you might want to be careful when you use a device. You don't want to drop it right here and risk denting the metal right here. At the top, one large cutout again for the 3.5mm headphone jack, the speaker, and the power on and off. Buttons work just fine, so no worries there. You have a nice cutout for the camera. It is a little bit off, but it certainly doesn't impede the usage. So as you can see, it is a little bit down, but it works just fine, so no worries there. On the left hand side, you do have the accelerometer switch, so that's perfect, easy to get to, and the volume up and down. I like this cutout a lot, and I'm glad they left this little strip here just to protect it. Some cases like to leave that out. So like I said, guys, in terms of protection, you won't really get a lot from this case. You'll basically get some scratch protection and the added grip. It is very similar to the Incipio Feather, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen my review on the Incipio Feather. So between the two, I would definitely go for the Feather, not because of the case itself. I do like the barely there a lot more, but it's basically because of the deal that you get. With the Incipio Feather, you get two screen protectors, you get a microfiber, and with this, you get nothing. So this is not a bad case by any means. I actually prefer the case itself, but it's just that same price and no accessories is hard to compete with. So if you are looking for a thin snap-on case, this one does feature a better soft touch coating, and overall I like it a lot more, but the Incipio Feather does have that good deal. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys, but both cases are really good. I'd like to thank Kathleen for sending out this case for reviewing purposes. Remember, check them out over at www.case-mate.com. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and stay tuned for more.